Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal struggles, having borderline personality disorder, having complex post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety and panic attacks. I talk about my depression. I talk about narcissism and my narcissistic mother who abused me. I talk about schizophrenia, and I wrote a book titled Life with My Schizophrenic Father, and the link below to that book is in the details. It's available on Amazon. I also talk about my unethical psychologist and all the different therapies I've been in, and the links to those books are below too in the description. And just a plethora of other mental health related topics. But I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you or give you a professional advice. All I ask in turn of you is your kindness and respect always in the comments. Please be kind to me. Be kind to other people in the comments. We don't have to agree on everything. Variety is the spice of life, but we need to show each other kindness and respect. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe box in the lower right hand corner. That way you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. It's 100% free, so stick around, take a chance, share it, give it a thumbs up with your friends, share it on other social medias. Please feel free to comment. I want to hear from you. I'm interested in you. I want to learn more about your struggles, what you're going through. And I always appreciate your opinion. We don't have to agree, and I will always show you utmost respect. Today we're going to talk about narcissistic mothers and how to survive. So, I know a lot about this subject because I grew up with a narcissistic mother. If you watched all my other videos, then you know all about that. So we're going to talk about narcissistic mothers, and I'm going to give you tips to how you can survive if you do have a narcissistic mother. If for some reason you're stuck with them, you're underage, or you're an adult and you're living with them because of financial circumstances, or maybe you're divorced and you had to move back in with them because you don't have, in other words, they're in your life and you can't find a way to get out of their lives. You can't break it off, because that's the best way to deal with narcissists, is just to have no contact. But not all of us can do that, and I couldn't do that either for a very, very long time. I eventually did, but a narcissistic mother always wants to make you a scapegoat. This is what my mother did to me. I was to blame for her miserable, rotten life. I was to blame, and she made me know this because she had to stay in her unhappy marriage with my schizophrenic father, who was psychotic, in and out of mental institutes. He was a compulsive gambler and blew all the money. He had substance abuse problems I heard of. I never seen it myself. And she always rubbed in my face that she would have a much happier life if she could leave my dad, but she couldn't because of me. I got in the way. She also blamed me whenever my father would act up. She would say, "You always make my life so much harder," because I would be frightened when my father was screaming and enraged and hearing voices and delusional. He was delusional. And as a little girl, I'd be very frightened, and I start to cry, and she'd, say that, I made her life all the more harder because now she had to deal with me on top of, her husband. And so she used me as a scapegoat. If she didn't have me, her life would be so much better. I heard that growing up all the time. She also told me that she didn't want to have me. She wanted to have a son. I heard that all the time too growing up. I never wanted a daughter. I wanted a son. I heard that too. So that's one of the big red flags there, that your narcissistic mother will blame you for everything. If it's raining outside, it's your fault. Whatever it is, you are to blame. And she'll guilt trip you too. That's another big thing they do. Oh, I have no one to take me to the doctors today. I have no one. I'm too sick. I can't, clean this house or whatever. They're going to guilt trip you. So you're going to feel guilty that you have to give up all your plans for them. Oh, I'm not feeling good. Can you just, cancel your plans, your date tonight, and stay with me because I don't feel well? You're responsible for them, and they will guilt trip you and make you feel really horrible. Another thing they do is lie. They lie to the world. They tell the world that they're the best mother. This is what my mother said. I'm the best mother in the world. Look at all I'm sacrificing. Oh, do they play that up, the martyr? My mother was the biggest martyr out there. I'm sacrificing everything for you. And they lived through you. She wanted me to get married in the Catholic Church, which I didn't, She lived her life because she had no life at all. So she lived it through me. And this is what narcissistic parents will do. They have no life, so they want to live it through you, trying to get you to be, everything that they couldn't or weren't in their own life. This is what happened to that actress, Jeanette Mercady. I'm saying her name wrong. She wrote a book, Why I'm Glad My Mother Died, because the mother wanted to be an actress and never got to be one. So she forced it on her daughter, who didn't want to be an actress, and to get a second chance to live her life with her daughter. This is the mother that will want to throw you the big wedding. And she's doing all this for you because she got married at the Justice of the Peace. So she wants to have this big, elaborate wedding. Not for you, but she'll tell everyone, look at what a wonderful mother I am. And giving my daughter this huge wedding, because I'm just the best mother in the world. Look at all I'm putting into it. But it has nothing to do with you. It's because she never got that. So she's living it through you, having a second chance of her life, living it through you. She don't care what you want. It's all about what she wants. But she'll tell you it's about her, that she's the best mom, that she's doing everything. And so what can you do to, what are some tips that you can do if you do have a narcissistic mother to be able to cope with this, all right? The first thing to do is to accept that your mother is narcissistic. I did not accept that my mother was narcissistic until, my God, after she died, all right? So you have to, acknowledge it, because if you don't acknowledge that there's a problem, then how are you going to deal with the problem, right? If I don't acknowledge that I have a drinking problem, then I'm going to keep drinking the way I do because I don't acknowledge that there's anything wrong with me. So if you don't acknowledge that your mother is narcissistic, you won't be able to make a plan to save yourself. And you have to save yourself because otherwise she will ruin your life. So first acknowledge that your mother's narcissistic, that has left great scars on you like it has on me. And my mother was verbally, emotionally, and physically abusive. She used to beat me up. Now, not all narcissistic mothers beat their children up, okay? I just got the worst brunt of it. I also got that too. My mother would always emotionally, scar me with things like calling me stupid, calling me fat, calling me a slut just because I wanted to have sex with my boyfriend. She would just call me horrific names and belittle me and shame me for having normal feelings. And that left emotional scars. And I think those scars were much worse than the physical scars that she gave me. But whatever you do for your narcissistic mother, it will never be enough. It'll never be enough. She will need to get her narcissistic supply over and over and over again. And this is why it's very important to set boundaries with her. Boundaries are very important. What is okay and what is not okay, and to stick with it. You have to. If she starts going on and insulting you, you just walk away. Or if you're on the phone, you just, I'm not going to talk to you when you're being this way. Bye. Hang up the phone. If you're living with her, you just leave or shut the door, get a lock on your door. This is my house. This is what my mother would say. You're not going to lock the door. She had a key to my apartment when I lived upstairs. It was a 2-family house. And she would come in when me and my husband were at work. And she'd show other people my apartment off, okay? And she broke a very sentimental gift for my wedding. It was in stained glass. It was our wedding invitation. Someone gave it to me as a gift. They got our wedding invitation, and as a wedding gift, they put our wedding invitation in this stained glass display. And it was in my bedroom. And my mother was showing it off. When I did not allow her to go in my house, she said she had to have the key to my apartment because she was a landlord. She went in against my will, showed, brought a bunch of people in there while me and my husband were at work. We weren't home. I did not okay it. I didn't even know she did it till she had to tell me that she broke something very sentimental and valuable to me, and she told me because she was showing off my apartment, she was dusting the top of my bureau where this was, and it fell off and broke, and it was a very dear and cherished wedding gift. So she just, like, they invade your space like you have no space. There's no respect for your boundaries, no respect for your space, your time, anything, your body. Narcissistic parents, mothers think they own you, They brought you into this world, so they own you for life, like you're a slave. They own you. They created you, they made you, you are theirs. This is how it is with them. So, in that case, you just get a lock, get a new lock, and change the lock so that she no longer has the key and can get into your space. And if she don't like it and kicks you out, well, you'll have to look for another apartment or something. I don't know, but I would never allow someone into my space again like I did that. So those are the boundaries you have to set. I don't accept this, I don't accept you talking to me like this. So end the conversation, hang up the phone, change the lock on the door. If she's going to be like that and you're out with her, drive her back home, drop her off and say, well, this date is ended. I will not be treated like that. If you are living with her, another thing, or even if you're not, is never share any personal information with a narcissistic mother. Everything you say will be used against you. Remember that. Even if you're excited about something and want to share, or if you're had a bad day and your friend hurt you and you want to share what your friend said, never ever share, because what you share with your narcissistic mother, you're giving her ammunition. to use it against you, and she will use it against you. If you say something about your husband, if you get in a fight with your husband, like all couples do, all friends get, have spats, okay? And you share that with your narcissistic mother, she will throw that in your face. Even if you made up with your friend or you made up with your husband and everything's all good now, she will throw that in your face over and over and over again. Never, ever let you live it down. Remember when he did this? So the best thing to do is not to share anything. Make it very bland, Talk about the weather. If you have to be, don't share anything about your children too. And please, if you do have a narcissistic mother like I did not let her around my grandchildren. Very limited contact, because I knew the hell she put me through. I was not going to have her put my children through that, okay? So very limited contact. And if you see during that contact, even though it's limited, that she's making fun of, oh, look at your son. He's still got his baby weight on, doesn't he? Look at those fat cheeks. Do not let her disrespect your children. No contact then. Do not ever. You have to look out for your children, okay? Because you, unfortunately, didn't have anyone looking out. I didn't have anyone looking out after me because I was an only child. I was a child. But for my children, I did. I was the one looking out for my children. So I gave my mother very limited contact with my children, because I didn't want my children turning out the way that, to be, humiliated and treated poorly, criticized like I was. So I was very, cautious of that, aware of that. And you need to be too. If you have a narcissistic mother and you have children and she's a grandmother, you need to be aware of that too. You don't want your children to go through what you went through. Another thing that I would say, another tip I have for you, if you have a narcissistic mother, is just to focus on yourself. Focus on your well-being. Spend as little time, if no time, with her, and try to build up relationships with other people who have empathy. This will help you. I always had like other female role models, like teachers, female teachers, that helped me because I never had a maternal, loving mother. I had a narcissistic mother. So in 5th grade, I had this teacher, Miss Sullivan, and she was, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years older than me. And she was like maybe like a female role model, maybe too young to be like a mother to me, but like a big sister. And she was very kind and compassionate, everything like a mother would be, that my mother wasn't. And she brought me and my friend in the teacher's lounge and had cookies and milk with her, and she talked to us. She treated me with kindness, compassion, and respect. And this meant a lot to me. And growing up, I would often, like the older adults, because I missed out on having any good parental role models, a narcissistic mother and a schizophrenic father. So I would turn to older teachers, older male teachers, older female teachers, So if you have someone that can be like a role model, if you do have a narcissistic mother that has compassion and empathy, then that would be very helpful too. And just take good care of yourself. Get out in nature, because nature is so wonderful. Go for walks in the woods, and just have some self time alone to reflect, and do the things you like to do. Focus on the hobbies, or maybe art. If you're a painter, paint. You can get a lot of your feelings out through your art. I get a lot of my feelings out through my poetry because I'm a writer. If you're a painter, or if there's other, like a sport you like to do, like tennis or pickleball, there's a lot of, you can get a lot of aggression out and doing like a fun sport. So just take care of yourself. That's what I'm saying. Whatever that is, to nurture your body. Maybe you want to get into therapy. It might help to talk to someone if you have a narcissistic mother, someone who could be compassionate and understanding, that might be able to help you deal with that. So that's the thing that you have to work on, focusing on your own self-care, because you're really going to need it if you have a narcissistic mother. So those are a few tips that I've given you. I felt so relief when my mother died. There wasn't one tear I cried. I just felt like total freedom, like I broke out of prison. I felt 100% free. It was so liberating when she died, because now the witch was gone. You know that song on the Wizard of Oz? Ding dong, the witch is dead. Do, 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 do. The wicked witch is dead. That's the song. At her funeral. I didn't play that song. I'm only kidding. But that's a song that went off in my head. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. So, take care of you. Don't let her guilt trip you. Don't let her scapegoat you. Set your boundaries. Be firm with them. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you have a narcissistic mother. My friend Janice, she's no longer my friend anymore. She was a narcissistic mother. She used to be insanely jealous of her daughters. Can you imagine that? She had nothing to do with her daughters because she was jealous of them. She said to me, "Oh, they love to throw in my face how she got a bachelor's degree and I didn't go to college, and she bought a house and I never bought a house." The truth was, her daughter just wanted to be close to her. She invited her to her wedding and Janice didn't go, because she was insanely jealous, because Janice was divorced and her daughter was getting married. Her daughter bought a beautiful big home. Her daughter was successful, got a bachelor's degree, was a nurse, had a successful career, and Janice only worked in retail. She never did much with her life, and she was insanely jealous of her daughter. And she punished her daughter by having nothing to do with her. And you could just see how insanely jealous she was. And that's another huge thing too. A narcissistic mother will be very jealous of you. So I didn't want anything to do with Janice because I didn't like the way she was treating her daughters. It just made me sick. It really sickened me that she would do this. So that's the end of today's video. Please comment, share it, and let's have an ongoing discussion. All right, till next time. Take care.